What if your child is not confused? What if your child is simply unmapped? What if the problem is not lack of intelligence, lack of focus, lack of confidence, or lack of discipline? What if the real problem is that nobody has decoded the right intelligence pathway through which your child naturally connects with the world? Today, I want you to listen carefully because this is not theory. This is an actual intelligence mapping case study. I will use an imaginary name for privacy. Let us call him Akash. And through Akash's case, I want to show you something powerful. When you read a child only through marks, school subjects, entrance exams, or generic aptitude tests, you may miss the real blueprint. But when you use planetary placement as the diagnostic engine, you begin to see the child's intelligence with more precision, more depth, and more direction. You stop asking, is my child good at science or commerce or arts? You start asking a much better question. How does my child's intelligence actually operate? Because every child is not built to learn the same way. Every child is not built to express intelligence through the same channel. Some children think through emotion, some through logic, some through systems, some through speech, some through beauty, some through movement, some through observation, some through service, some through philosophy, some through people. And when you misread that, you don't just choose the wrong stream. You damage confidence. You create resistance. You make the child feel ordinary, when in reality, the child may simply be operating through a different intelligence code. Now let us look at Akash. Akash has Aquarius ascendant with Mercury in the first house. His Sun, Mars, and Venus are placed in Pisces in the second house. His Moon is Atma Karaka in Cancer in the sixth house. His Jupiter is in Taurus in the fourth house. His Saturn is Amacha Karaka in Libra in the ninth house, joined with Rahu, and Ketu is in Aries in the third house. Now, if you are a parent listening to this, don't worry about memorizing the placements. I want you to understand the logic, because this is where the power of intelligence mapping begins. The ascendant shows the operating personality. Mercury in the first house tells me that Akash is not just a child who thinks. He is a child whose identity is connected to thinking, observing, speaking, interpreting, and processing. But Mercury is in Aquarius. Aquarius is not ordinary thinking. Aquarius is futuristic thinking, systems thinking, reform thinking, network thinking, technology thinking, social pattern thinking. So from the very beginning, Akash's mind is not designed only to repeat what is taught. He is designed to question, connect, redesign, and think ahead of the environment. This is why a child like Akash may not always respond well to dry memorization. He may ask unusual questions. He may jump from one idea to another. He may appear detached at times. He may understand a system faster than he can explain his emotional reaction to it. As an intelligence mapping coach, I would not call this distraction first. I would call it Aquarian Mercury intelligence. This is the intelligence of the future communicator, the systems interpreter, the young analyst, the child who wants to understand how people, ideas, technology, and society connect. Now look at the second house. Akash has Sun, Mars, and Venus in Pisces in the second house. The second house is speech, voice, perception, values, family conditioning, memory, stored knowledge, the way a child expresses what he has absorbed. And here we see three powerful planets. Sun gives authority, Mars gives force, Venus gives beauty, Pisces gives imagination, compassion, sensitivity, symbolism, and spiritual emotional depth. So what kind of intelligence does this create? This creates linguistic intelligence with emotional and aesthetic power. Akash's voice is not just a voice. It can become a tool, a weapon, a healing instrument, a persuasive medium, a poetic channel, a storytelling channel. This is the kind of child who may speak beautifully when he is connected to what he says. He may write with feeling. He may persuade with emotion. He may explain something not like a textbook, but like a story. He may enjoy podcasts, speeches, content creation, poetry, music, performance, philosophy, or meaningful discussion. But there is also a warning. Sun and Mars in the second house can make speech intense, sometimes proud, sometimes blunt, sometimes emotionally forceful. Venus softens it, Pisces spiritualizes it, but Mars still gives impact. So if you are guiding a child like Akash, you must train his speech. Not suppress it, train it. Because one of his greatest gifts is expression. If untrained, it becomes reaction. If trained, it becomes influence. That is the difference between a child who argues and a child who inspires. Now let us go deeper. Akasha's moon is Atma Karaka in Cancer in the 6th house. This is one of the most important signatures in this case. The Atma Karaka shows the soul's deep learning path. The moon represents emotion, care, sensitivity, memory, mothering, emotional intelligence, and receptivity. Cancer is the moon's own sign, so the emotional field is strong, but the moon is in the 6th house. The 6th house is not comfort, it is correction, service, problems, enemies, obstacles, health, daily work, improvement, the habit of fixing what is wrong. So what does this mean? This means Akasha's emotional intelligence is not passive. It is diagnostic. He does not merely feel, he detects. He notices discomfort. He notices emotional disorder. He notices when something is not right. He may sense the problem in a person, in a room, in a family pattern, in a routine, in a system. This is emotional diagnostic intelligence. This is the intelligence of a counselor, therapist, healer, teacher, emotional coach, child mentor, psychologist, wellness guide, or service leader. This is not a child who should be told, don't be sensitive. No. Sensitivity is part of his diagnostic engine, but he must be taught boundaries. Because a child with this placement can absorb too much. He may feel responsible for fixing everyone. He may become anxious when people around him are emotionally disturbed. He may try to correct, help, rescue, organize, and emotionally manage situations too early in life. So the coaching message for such a child is, you can help people without carrying everyone's pain. That one line can protect his gift. Now look at Saturn as Amatya Karaka in Libra in the 9th house, joined with Rahu. The Amatya Karaka shows the professional intelligence pathway. It shows how the child may apply skill in the world. Saturn is methodical, disciplined, structured, patient, serious, system-oriented. Libra is fairness, balance, justice, relationship, diplomacy, aesthetics, agreement, negotiation. The 9th house is higher education, philosophy, law, ethics, institutions, worldview, publishing, and dharma. Rahu adds ambition, unconventional thinking, global appetite, disruption, and mass relevance. Now, this is powerful. Akasha's professional intelligence is not random. It is built around structured justice, ethical systems, institutional reform, philosophy, law, policy, diplomacy, education, and social balance. This is why I would not guide Akash only toward a narrow career based on marks. I would ask, where can this child combine structure, fairness, communication, social understanding, and higher knowledge? He may do well in law, public policy, psychology, international relations, diplomacy, education reform, social entrepreneurship, AI ethics, organizational behavior, counseling frameworks, governance, philosophy, human rights, media with meaning, consulting, teaching, behavioral science. Why? Because Saturn in the 9th does not want shallow success. It wants mature authority. It wants earned wisdom. It wants a system. Libra wants fairness. Rahu wants large-scale relevance. Together they create the mind of a reformer. But again, there is a warning. Saturn Rahu in the 9th can make the child question belief systems. He may not accept authority blindly. He may challenge teachers, traditions, institutions, and moral rules. And many parents make the mistake of calling this disrespect. Sometimes it is disrespect, but sometimes it is intelligence asking for better structure. So the right guidance is not stop questioning. The right guidance is question deeply, but build responsibly. That is how you convert rebellion into reform. Now look at Jupiter in Taurus in the 4th house. This gives emotional grounding through stable values, beauty, comfort, learning, family, and environment. The 4th house is mind, home, peace, education, emotional foundation. Taurus is stability, resources, food, beauty, voice, value, preservation. Jupiter gives wisdom, teaching, guidance, and moral understanding. This placement tells me Akash needs a peaceful learning environment. He may not thrive in emotional chaos. His education improves when the surroundings are stable, beautiful, and emotionally safe. He may enjoy subjects connected with values, family systems, food, wellness, teaching, land, design, emotional security, cultural knowledge, or practical wisdom. This also supports a mentoring style. He may become someone who makes others feel safe through knowledge. Now look at Ketu in Aries in the 3rd house. The 3rd house is effort, courage, writing, communication, hands, skills, hobbies, practice, self-made ability. Aries is action, initiative, independence. Ketu gives detachment, past life skills, sharpness, minimalism, and intuitive mastery. This placement tells me Akash may have selective effort. He may not put energy into everything, but when something activates his inner skill, he can move fast. He may have sudden ability in writing, speaking, martial skills, instruments, technology, symbolic knowledge, or independent projects, but he may dislike being forced by peer pressure. He may prefer his own path. He may not enjoy repetitive effort unless he sees meaning. So again, the coaching is clear. Do not force effort mechanically. Link effort with purpose. Now, when we bring all placements together, what do we see? We see that Akash's dominant intelligence types are very clear. First, linguistic intelligence. Mercury in the first and Sun, Mars, Venus in the second make communication one of the strongest channels. He can speak, write, explain, persuade, perform, teach, debate, and emotionally influence through words. Second, emotional service intelligence. Moon at Makaraka in Cancer in the sixth makes him a problem fixer in the emotional and human domain. He can understand pain, disorder, anxiety, conflict, and emotional imbalance. This is excellent for psychology, counseling, healing, education, and service. Third, existential and philosophical intelligence. Saturn Amatya Karaka with Rahu and Libra in the ninth creates a serious thinker about justice, ethics, institutions, society, law, and belief systems. He may ask big questions early. Fourth, interpersonal intelligence. Mercury, Moon, Venus, Libra, and Pisces all contribute to understanding people. But his interpersonal intelligence is not only friendly, it is advisory. He may become the person who explains people to themselves. Fifth, visual, spatial, and aesthetic intelligence. Venus in Pisces, Jupiter in Taurus, and Libra activation show sensitivity to beauty, design, tone, arrangement, and emotional atmosphere. He may enjoy visual communication, branding, film, photography, design, presentation, interiors, or aesthetic storytelling. Sixth, musical and rhythmic intelligence. Venus in the second, Moon in Cancer, and Mercury in the first can give rhythm in speech, voice sensitivity, poetic expression, music appreciation, chanting, spoken word, or lyrical ability. Seventh, logical and systems intelligence. Aquarius, Mercury, Saturn, Amatya Karaka, and Ketu in the third support systems thinking. But this may not be dry mathematics. It may be applied logic, technology with people, data with story, systems with ethics, psychology with structure. Eighth, naturalist intelligence. Moon in Cancer, Jupiter in Taurus, Venus in Pisces can create sensitivity toward food, water, environment, animals, healing spaces, nature, and wellness. Ninth, bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Ketu in Aries in the third and Mars influence can support movement, instruments, martial arts, yoga, dance, cooking, theater, or craft. But this is more supportive than dominant. Now here's the most important point. If you looked at Akash only through school marks, you might ask, is he science material? Is he commerce material? Is he arts material? But that is too shallow. This chart says Akash is not one stream. He is a human-centered communicator, emotional problem solver, philosophical reformer, aesthetic speaker, and systems-aware guide. So what fields of study would suit him? Psychology and communication, law and ethics, public policy and social reform, media and education, UX research and human-centered design, behavioral science, counseling psychology, AI ethics and society, international relations, philosophy, wellness education, content strategy, brand communication, teaching and mentoring, spiritual studies with practical application, educational technology, organizational behavior. These are not random suggestions. They are derived from the planetary diagnostic engine. Mercury in Aquarius says, understand systems and communicate future ideas. Sun, Mars, Venus in Pisces in the second says, use voice, beauty, emotion, and conviction. Moon at Makaraka in Cancer in the sixth says, heal, correct, serve, diagnose, improve. Jupiter in Taurus in the fourth says, create stability, values, comfort, and grounded wisdom. Saturn Amatya Karaka with Rahu and Libra in the ninth says, build mature authority in justice, ethics, institutions, philosophy, and reform. Ketu in Aries in the third says, develop independent skill and courageous expression. Now, tell me honestly, can a generic aptitude test capture this depth? Can a mark sheet tell you that your child's speech may become his power? Can a school report tell you that emotional sensitivity may actually be diagnostic intelligence? Can a stream selection form tell you that the child is meant to combine psychology, communication, ethics, design, and systems? This is why intelligence mapping through planetary placement is superior and direct. Because it does not ask only what the child can score. It asks, how does the child process life? Where does the child feel alive? What kind of intelligence becomes natural under pressure? What kind of work will feel meaningful instead of forced? Which environment will activate the child's confidence? What should be trained, protected, and refined early? This is the difference between career advice and intelligence mapping. Career advice usually begins too late. Intelligence mapping begins before the child is damaged by comparison. And this is especially important for Gen Alpha and today's youth, because this generation is not built for one-dimensional careers. They are growing into a world of AI, automation, digital platforms, emotional complexity, creator economies, global education, mental health awareness, ethical technology, and interdisciplinary work. So if you still guide them with old labels, doctor, engineer, lawyer, CA, MBA, you may miss the actual combination that makes them powerful. The future belongs to hybrid intelligence, the child who can combine psychology with technology, design with empathy, law with communication, education with media, ethics with AI, healing with storytelling, data with human insight. And Akash's chart shows exactly that kind of hybrid intelligence. But there is one condition. The child must be guided correctly. For Akash, the wrong guidance would be, just study harder, stop thinking too much, stop being sensitive, don't question, choose one safe stream, speak less, be practical. That would shut down his natural intelligence. The right guidance is different. Train his voice, give him writing, give him debate, give him emotional education, give him psychology, give him ethics, give him design exposure, give him technology with social meaning, give him mentors who are structured but not rigid, give him service projects, give him space to ask difficult questions, give him responsibility, not pressure, give him beauty and calm in the learning environment, give him systems to understand people, give him language to express what he feels. Then you will see the difference. Because a child like Akash does not bloom under fear. He blooms under meaning. He does not learn best through blind repetition. He learns through connection. He does not need to be pushed into someone else's idea of success. He needs to be mapped into his own intelligence design. And that is what I want you to take away today. Your child may not be weak. Your child may not be confused. Your child may not be lazy. Your child may not be average. Your child may simply be waiting for the right intelligence mirror. And when the right mirror comes, everything changes. The child starts understanding, this is how I think. The parent starts understanding, this is how I should guide. The teacher starts understanding, this is how this child learns. And the career path becomes less forced and more natural. That is the power of a deep intelligence map. It does not box the child. It reveals the child. It does not flatter blindly. It identifies strengths, weaknesses, training areas, emotional risks, learning style, expressive gifts, and future-aligned study fields. In Akash's case, the message is clear. His future is not in memorizing without meaning. His future is in communication with depth, psychology with service, ethics with structure, design with empathy, technology with humanity, knowledge with healing, voice with purpose. If guided well, he can become a counselor, speaker, educator, policy thinker, media creator, ethical technologist, psychologist, design strategist, youth mentor, philosopher, coach, or social impact leader. But if misread, he may become restless, emotionally overloaded, verbally reactive, or disconnected from education. So the responsibility is not only on the child, it is on the adults around the child. Your role is not to force your child into a popular path. Your role is to recognize the intelligence that is already trying to emerge. And if you are a parent listening to this, ask yourself, have you truly mapped your child? Or have you only measured your child? Because measurement gives comparison. Mapping gives direction. Measurement tells you where your child stands against others. Mapping tells you where your child can rise from within. And that is the real work. If you want a deep intelligence map reading for your child, one that looks at planetary placements, signs, houses, Karakas, conjunctions, emotional intelligence, learning style, dominant intelligence types, suitable fields of study, and future direction, then get in touch with me. Do not wait until your child is already confused, pressured, or disconnected. Map early, guide wisely, build confidence from the original blueprint, because the right intelligence map can save years of confusion. And sometimes it can reveal the child's path before the world even knows what to call it.